So thank you all so much for showing up today. I'm so excited to connect with all of you eager career changers. My name is Chelsea, and I am on the admissions team here at School 16. I've been in sales and marketing for over 10 years now, but most recently I've been in the tech industry, and I have loved helping folks like yourself find your path in this industry. Before we get started, I just want to do like a quick little icebreaker. So I'm going to do two questions. You can use the raise hand function or drop your answers in the chat. And to raise your hand, you'll just click the reactions in your toolbar and you'll see the raise hand function. But the first question is, are you an extrovert or an introvert? And so if you are an extrovert, raise your hand or drop in the chat. Okay, if you're an introvert, raise your hand or drop it in the chat. Okay, I like all the introverts here. I am an introvert as well, and I just play an extrovert really well. So I'm glad that like all of us are introverts over here. So thanks, y'all. um, Okay, the last question that I want to ask then is if you could just drop in the chat what state or country you are joining us from. San Diego, Michigan, Colorado. I'm also in Colorado, and I know you, Deanna, so it is so good to see you here. Okay, we got a lot of representation. All right. Okay, all in the US, which is great. Okay, well, thank you all for playing. Just thought we could do something fun to warm us all up. Let me just move that out of the way. Okay, so we are going to cover a lot of information tonight, and I don't expect you to memorize everything. We're recording this event, and so I'll send out the recording to everybody once we're done. I'll also send you an email after the event, and I encourage you all to reach out if you want to hop on the phone and chat through anything. Majority of you here tonight are folks who are interested in breaking into tech and who probably have little to no experience in the industry, and that is okay. It's really easy to be cautious about entering an industry you're not familiar with, but tonight we're going to break that all down for you. So let's get into our agenda. First, we're going to cover what the job market looks like as we head into 2023, and then we'll dive into no-code career paths in sales and customer success, marketing, operations, and product management. We'll then pause for any questions that you have before we wrap with how you can get started. I also encourage you to drop questions in the chat as I'm talking, and I'll make sure to get to those. So I've worked with tons of students over the years who are considering making a career change into tech. And one of the first things they ask me is, did I miss the chance? A lot of students think that they either missed the chance to enter the industry and now it's oversaturated, or they think there's a bubble or we're in a bubble as we hear about layoffs at some high profile companies like Netflix, Facebook, etc. However, that's just not the case. And the numbers here show that. The layoffs that we hear about are very real. However, overall, we're seeing a net job growth in the tech industry across the board. And 2022 is on pace to be an even bigger year of growth than recent years. People understandably love to cling to those big stories when it comes to layoffs, but if you're not part of the industry, you just don't realize how many tech companies exist. Oops, let them in. So there's lots of companies that exist that you probably just haven't heard of. Tech doesn't mean just social media and streaming services. There are cloud-based companies, ed tech company, which is education tech, fintech, which is financial tech, fashion tech. Just think of like every industry and add tech behind it, and you're almost guaranteed to find a small, medium, or large company that exists. We also see salaries continuing to rise for all jobs in the tech industry, but especially for folks with 3+ years, according to Hired.com's 2022 State of Salaries report. And so what this means is it's just important to start making those career moves now so that you have more financial flexibility as you gain more experience. It's also important to remember that all of your academic and previous work experience counts, even if it's not directly related to tech. It's really all about framing that experience to make sense for the job that you are applying for. A lot of people also assume that the only jobs in the tech industry are for software developers or other technical roles. And again, that's just not the case. Every company needs a sales team, they have to have a marketing department, operations, all of those other pieces that ultimately serve the growth and development of the company. So, obviously, today we're going to be focusing on those non technical roles. So, first up is going to be sales and customer success. Every company needs a team that drives business, and then then somebody who retains that business. And in the tech industry, you'll see the sales department broken into two different parts: before the deal closes and then after. So, job titles such as business or sales development rep, account manager, or account executive, those are the employees who are responsible for bringing business in the door and closing the deals. Once the deal is closed, the sales team is going to hand off those new clients to their customer success team. This team's goal is to make sure that their new client is using the product effectively, help solve any problems, and makes sure that they renew their contract. So customer success is a little bit different than customer service reps, and it's easy to confuse those two. But customer success is all about making sure your client is happy and adding in more sales as they want to make sure the client renews their business. And they also try to upsell when products are added. When searching for these types of jobs, check out account coordinator, business development, sales manager, customer success manager, those types of roles to help you as you're job hunting. Some of the transferable skills that you can pull from previous work experience are going to be relationship building, collaborator, strong communication, and proactivity, and also a problem solver. Those are the skills that employers are really looking for in a sales position. These positions are also really great for entry level folks, as well as mid career workers and beyond. So, sales positions are super useful in gaining experience as you have to learn and become an expert on not only your company's product and services, but you also have to research and identify all of that information for your competitors. You also get to work both internally and externally with lots of different teams and people, which makes this a wonderful role to elevate your networking game and just help you gain valuable connections at lots of exciting companies. As I mentioned, sales roles are great for entry level folks. So you'll see a pretty wide range when it comes to salaries. And so if you are successful in your role, it's really easy to move up and start earning a higher base pay. And I think that that's the exciting part about sales roles is they offer that base pay, and depending on your experience, that can start at 50,000, 60,000, whatever. And then you're going to get commission on top of that, and or you'll get quarterly bonuses or annual bonuses. So it can be a very lucrative career path regardless of the stage you're at in your experience level. Oops. So the next is digital marketing, and it's no surprise that social media plays a really big role in people's purchasing decisions. And it's also easy to assume that because you have a really strong personal social media page, that you think you can help a tech company grow its brand. But digital marketing is just a little bit more than having a aesthetically pleasing Instagram grid and being creative. Digital marketers are also strong copywriters who love digging into data and analytics. So, digital marketing is what consumers see before a salesperson even calls them on the phone. Digital marketing teams are responsible for brand awareness and really driving leads to the sales team. They do this through social media and email marketing, SEO, which is search engine optimization, collaborating with developers to build user friendly websites, and a ton more. You can find job titles that match this when you search for content marketer, product marketer, digital marketing specialist, campaign manager, those types of things. Writing and editing, and then the ability to make data driven decisions are top skills that employers look for in marketers. They also want somebody who is able to multitask, be creative, is adaptable, and a strategic thinker to be part of their team. Marketing roles can be pretty competitive, but it still is a great place to start in your career in tech, as there's lots of entry positions still available. So if you don't have any experience, I encourage you to reach out to your local coffee shop or local small business and just ask to run their social media pages to get a taste of what an entry level position looks like. Due to the importance of marketing and brand awareness, you can have a really long career in marketing, as large tech companies have huge marketing teams with massive budgets. So you can see salaries all the way up into six figures when you start running those marketing teams. Also, friendly reminder, drop questions in the chat if you have any. No worries if not, but just wanted to throw that out. So next up, we have our operations, and a strong operations team is necessary for any organization to survive. Tech companies have dozens of projects happening all the time, and they need to rely on project managers and operation coordinators to ensure that projects are completed on time and successfully. Projects is a really broad term, and it can mean a number of things from internal to external work, supporting multiple departments, or working directly with the CEO. Regardless of the project, the operations team needs to be organized and able to wear multiple hats. Your ops team is typically going to be behind the scenes, making sure everything is running smoothly in the organization. Organization, time management, and the ability to collaborate with others are going to be the top skills employers are looking for. Project managers, like I said, need to be able to prioritize multiple projects and have strong communication skills. So if you are excited about creating processes and making sure they're efficient, this could be a really great place for you to start your career. Similar to sales and marketing roles, operations is also a great place for entry level positions. And then also similar to sales and marketing, there is a ton of room for growth. Project managers can work on those projects with a budget of $5,000 all the way up to seven figures, which means you need a wide range of talent on your ops team. So that's why we see wide salary ranges for these types of positions. And last but not least is product management. Product development teams are responsible for understanding customer needs, creating something new, and bringing it to market. PMs are responsible for entire business lines, or they're responsible for building significant new features within existing products. So think about when Instagram first came out, what it compared to what it is now. Product teams worked with software developers to build out the Instagram stories, reels, and all those new features that you've seen since it first started. Besides choosing what to build, they also communicate the benefits and measure the performance of a project, which is a crucial duty within any company. So after Instagram stories was built out, PMs needed to dig into the data to make sure that people were actually using the feature. And if not, they needed to figure out why. So similar to project manager, they are collaborating with sales teams, marketing departments, developer teams, as well as the leadership teams constantly. Product managers are really important to every tech company. And so we typically see people with several years of experience land one of these roles. For folks who are interested in this, but may just not have the work experience yet, we encourage you to start in a project manager or even sales role and work your way up. Both project management and sales positions really dig into like behind the scenes type stuff. And so you're collaborating with lots of different departments. And so it's a great first stepping stone for a product management position. Top skills are problem solver, communication, and analytical thinker, as well as being strategic with the decisions that you make. Product manager salaries are often some of the highest in tech because of the autonomy level in the role, as well as the level of experience required. So that's why you'll see your salaries starting out a little bit higher with these roles and going up pretty quickly. Whew. Okay, I covered a lot there, y'all. I'm going to pause. What questions do you have? And feel free to drop them in the chat, but also you can come off mute too if that's easier. Are we all just feeling that good about all that information? Okay, we'll keep it pushing. But again, if questions pop up, definitely just drop them in the chat. I can go back to slides too if that's helpful. Okay. So now that we've covered these no code career paths in tech, how do you get started? And at School 16, we've worked with hundreds of career changers who are really eager to level up in their career and find a role that challenges them, but also pays them their worth, has strong benefits, and also has upward mobility. So our program is 16 weeks, and that's what we do. We help you break into tech. We do that through skill building, career support, networking and mentorship support, and then project based learning. The first 8 weeks of our program is what we call, oops, sorry, I'm late. I was looking for HR and tech. Does this coincide? Ooh, good question, Yvette. So, I guess with HR, it depends. So, our program, if you're looking for more of a like modern HR role, which is kind of around like building a strong operations team and creating processes and efficiency. Or if you are looking for more of a recruiter type HR role, then our program can absolutely help with that. If you're looking for more of a traditional HR role, so you are helping onboard new employees, making sure that they are signed up for the proper benefits, all of that sort of stuff, there's probably a different program that can help you out a little bit more. But I think when we look at all of the non-technical career paths, there's just so many different overlapping places that you can go. So with our program, depending on the HR route that you want to go, is depends on if we can help you. I feel like that was kind of like a smorgasbord of an answer. So let me know if that didn't answer your question, Yvette.
Hi, yes, you did. Sorry, I felt like
Okay,
I was gonna take
perfect.
longer to reply.
Yeah,
So,
no, no.
when you speak about recruitment, I'm sorry, I wish I would have been here able because I'm still at work. So I was like, oh my gosh, the Zoom meeting.
You're
So, when you refer to recruitment, is that more or less like you're recruiting who? Sorry.
Yeah, no, 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 really good question. So I'll go back a few slides. I would say recruitment sits more in this sales position type role, and who you're recruiting are people to work for your company. So
Okay.
if you are on LinkedIn, one is a great place. If you're not on LinkedIn and you're job
Mhm.
hunting, whether you're in the tech industry or not, highly
Mhm.
recommend getting on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is a great place to kind of get a feel for like what recruiters do. You're seeing recruiters constantly posting about like, hey, I have I'm a recruiter for Google and we're trying to find software developers for our company, or we're trying to find product managers for our company. So they're now reaching out to people based on their LinkedIn profiles. They're finding them. They're doing like an intro interview, and then if they look great, they'll say, hey company, you guys really need to hire this person or interview this person, and they help facilitate that process. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, really good question. And thank you for joining us while you're at work. I appreciate that. We won't tell your boss. Okay. So I'm trying to think where I was at here. Oh yeah. Okay. So our program's 16 weeks long. The first 8 weeks of our program is what we call our foundations course, as it's a really great opportunity for students to learn more about the tech industry. What are the jobs that exist and how do they function together? So you're going to dive even deeper into all of this stuff that I've just discussed today. The next 8 weeks is where you'll pick one of those concentrations in either sales and customer success, digital marketing, operations, or product management. And that's where you're going to deepen your learning and work on a project for those remaining 8 weeks. As I mentioned, professional development is a huge part of our program. So not only will you be learning the applicable skills that make you job ready, but you're also going to get one-on-one support with career coaches and mentors who currently work in the tech industry to really help you on your personal employment journey. So, like that little tidbit about getting on LinkedIn, at School 16, you'll be able to connect with career coaches, attend workshops to really be like, well, what does make a good LinkedIn profile? How do I reach out to a recruiter who's hiring for this position that I want? So, you'll get that type of support that our students really get excited about. We also really pride ourselves on having experts lead our cohorts. Great to learn from somebody who is already highly successful in the industry. So you know you're learning directly from the source and you have another person to lean on to help build out your network. Sekou, he is the VP and head of brand marketing at a tech company called Turing, and he will be leading our December cohort. He comes with over 20 years of marketing experience in several industries and big tech companies. So next week, we're going to be hosting a Q&A with him. So if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to register for the event so that you can learn more about Sekou's career path and also how he creates an engaging classroom for our students. If you haven't RSVP'd, no worries. At the end of this, I will send an email with a link for you to RSVP to it. If you are ready for next steps, I highly encourage you to apply to our December cohort ASAP. As you can imagine, everyone wants to kick off 2023 with really big moves. So our December cohort is definitely filling up pretty quickly. You will first head, if you want to apply, you're first going to head to this website here. I'll send an email, don't worry. And you will apply to our program. And within 1 to 2 business days, you'll hear from somebody on our admissions team if you've been invited to interview. If you are invited, you'll schedule your 30-minute program interview over Zoom with somebody on the admissions team. And the interview is a good opportunity for us to learn more about your background and professional goals, just to make sure that we can support you on your journey. So Yvette, like, if you were to schedule an interview and you're talking about how you want to be an HR, rep for some company, and it's not the HR type of support that we could help you with, during the interview, we'd let you know that. Because again, we want to be able to match your goals with what we can support you with. After the interview, within 1 to 2 business days, you'll find out if you've been accepted into the program, and then you'll go ahead and enroll, and we'll help you with those next steps. Our next cohort starts on Monday, December 12th, and classes run 2 nights a week from 6 to 8 p.m. over Zoom, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time over Zoom. And then for our full 16-week program, our tuition is $5,950, and that is all encompassing. So you won't pay for books, software, or anything like that. We have really flexible payment plans that range anywhere from 3 months all the way up to 30 months, depending on your credit. And we also then offer several financial need-based scholarships for students. As I mentioned, December cohort is filling up quickly, so I highly encourage you to apply tonight, just so that you can get your interview booked ASAP and get enrolled and secure your spot and be done with that. So that is, again, a lot of information. I am going to stop recording. I'm going to stop sharing my screen first, and then I'm going to stop recording.